Hello guys, and welcome once again to another week where we're going to be looking at the charts. Now last week was an amazing week for us, and even last 2 week was amazing, right? We told you guys the levels to get in on a trade last 2 weeks, and price just shot up after going down into that area, over 3,000 pips in profit, right? And it was just amazing. Now last week also was just amazing as well. So now in this new week, what are we going to be looking out for? Let's already mapped everything out, so let me now let's start from the higher time frame. Let's do the top-down analysis, as we can never go wrong with that. Now starting from the monthly charts, looking at the monthly chart, we can clearly see that prices are still very much bullish. And what do we always say you do when prices are bullish? When you see that the markets are bullish, you majorly look for your buy setup, not sell setups. Now that doesn't mean that you can't take sells. You can take sells, but you need to be very careful when taking a sell. And you know that if you're taking sell trades, then the chances of you going in on a losing trade is high. But when you look for majorly buy entries, that in chances of you getting on a winning trade is much is higher, right? It's high. Then looking at the monthly, like we said, prices are very much bullish, so we should be looking for buys. But what levels are we going to be looking for? Let's go down to the weekly. Let's see what we're seeing now on the weekly charts. Now, it's funny enough, I had recorded this, but I didn't know that the audio wasn't recorded, right? So I had to do it again. So guys, looking at the weekly, we need to, where we're going to be looking for, we're going to be, first of all, we're going to be looking for price to come back down into the 50% level of the previous week, which is somewhere around here, which we've already marked, which is around 3275 level, right? So once price gets into that zone, then we can be looking for buys from that zone. But chances are the price could actually even go lower into 3246 level. Okay, so between that level 3275 and 3246, then we could be looking for buys from those zone. In other words, we could see price do something of this nature and then come back higher. I hope this is recorded. Hello. Okay, and so that's that. Then the second thing we could see happen is that price could also come down to as low as into this fair value gap, which I'm not sure that would happen this week, right? So what do? Let's go down to the daily. Let's see what it looks like. On the daily, we can expect price also to come back down low to this low here over here, right? If price comes down into this zone, price might sweep this previous day and then push up. Now mind you, we're already in on a trade at this bottom, this very tip here, right? We're in on a trade there. So if price actually continues to go up, fine, that's good for us, but we'll go to a lower time frame to see things clearer. But now on the daily, we can expect the price will come down probably into this fair value gap that we have over here, right? But that might also not happen, but most likely price could actually come down. There are three things I think could happen in this new week, right, which I'm going to show you later. But like we said, price could come down here and then react from here and start going up, or price could actually come down lower into this point and then react from there and start going up, or price could actually come down into this point, which I think that will be getting into the weekly fair value gap that we pointed out earlier, right? So either way, those are the levels we're going to be looking for buys from. Now let's go to the 4-hour. Now looking at the 4-hour chart, so like I said, we're already in on a trade here. Now there are three things I see that could happen here. Number one is the price might just keep going up, okay, sweep this high, and then the next thing we would see, it will create a divergence, and if it does that, then price will most likely get down to this weekly fair value gap from here, and then from here we could now look for our very good entry that we can now hold, like those other trades that we're holding down, right, down at this point, right? So if that happens, that's good. But if that doesn't happen, then we might see price actually just I need to remove this and delete this. The second scenario we could see happen is the price could actually come down, right, sweep this place and then continues push up, right, or come down and then continues push up. But honestly, what do I think will happen? I think price might actually continue to move up, sweep that place, and then much later we might see drop then from that drop we could now get in on actual entries, another entry for a buy from somewhere around there and up. That's what I think. That's what I actually think will happen. That's what I actually hope will happen, right? I think, not hope, sorry. I think price will most likely push up, break higher, create a divergence over here, and then we're going to now begin to see a drop somehow. But either way, if we're going to be waiting for a buy setup and not just be taking sells, right? So either way, if price doesn't break higher, then we're going to be looking for buys at this area, okay? We're going to be looking for buys at that area. Let's delete this. And if that area doesn't hold, then we'll look for buys at this whole zone. All right, so those are the levels we're going to be looking for buys at. We're going to be looking for buys at this level 3275 level, and probably 3246 level, and then the final area will be around this 3169. Those are the levels we're going to be waiting for. So let's just see what happens next week. Like we already said, we're already in on the buy somewhere around here. So we just need to keep a close eye on the charts and see what happens. So guys, let me know in the comment section what you think or what you're looking out for on the gold charts. And if there are other instruments you'd like us to talk about, then let me know in the comment section. Also guys, make sure you subscribe and you like this video and you share this video, right? That's one of the ways you can really support us on this channel. We're doing our very best to give you guys good content that could actually help you every single week. So that's it guys, have a wonderful trading week.